Chapter 1289, Reverse Flow Protection Seal. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. A moment later, Fang Yuan opened his eyes, activating the killer move again. This time, a segment of Reverse Flow River's water was moved by him, causing huge waves. The immortal's expressions changed. Even old ancestor Shuhu's attacks stopped. But at the next moment, old ancestor Shuhu shouted loudly and erupted with even stronger attacks. "This is so hard. Because I added in many goo worms of different types, many problems occurred. But this is already my current limit. To create a concise version, I will need years to deduce, or an increase in my attainment level once again." Fang Yuan knew that this myriad self-second style had too many goo worms involved. It was too complex and had many issues to deal with. While Fang Yuan was sighing at the difficult progress, the other goo immortals were filled with shock. Even though they did not speak, their gazes were flickering. Liu Guanyi, this fellow. Such fast progress. He could really mobilize Reverse Flow River. Unbelievable. Is he really human? He could achieve such progress in this short period of time. No, there is no way he can succeed. How can he really create an immortal killer move in such a short amount of time? Undeniably, Fang Yuan's rapid advancement had broken the common sense of these immortals. They had never seen a person create an immortal killer move in such a short period of time and gain such rapid improvements through experimentation. But right now, they were seeing it live. Fang Yuan continued. Old ancestor Shu Hu and the dogtail life-extending ferret, Mao Li Chu, subconsciously increased their attacking power. But Reverse Flow River was too huge. Even after their endless attacks, they consumed less than 5% of the entire river. Once more, rise. Fang Yuan had a serious expression. He grabbed at the air towards the river below him as he called out. This time, the entirety of Reverse Flow River was affected. It was like a long dragon awakening from its slumber. It started to stretch its entire body freely. "How could this happen?" someone cried out subconsciously. The entirety of Reverse Flow River started to fly in the sky like a rising dragon, ready to soar and roam the 5 regions and 9 heavens. "Wishful thinking," old ancestor Shui Hu shouted, slamming with his palms as an icy light shot out towards Reverse Flow River. Reverse Flow River was hit and reflected it. The icy light seemed to have collided into a mirror. It was sent right back at him. In the blink of an eye, all of the vast surrounding grassland turned into an icy plain. Frost energy permeated. The sky was snowing. The temperature was falling. Strong winds blew intensely. The entire world seemed to have changed colors. This was the power of a rank 8. Fang Yuan could not help but feel shocked. He was temporarily safe in Reverse Flow River, and the other goo immortals were protected by their rank 8 existences. Ying Wuxi was covered in cold sweat. Purple Mountain. True Monarch had awakened again at the crucial moment. If not for him, Ying Wuxi and the rest would not have survived. "We will leave, Purple Mountain," True Monarch said. "But this..." Ying Wuxi hesitated, but Purple Mountain True Monarch waved his hand, and several rings of light appeared, capturing Ying Wuxi and gang, sending them towards the sky. To think that Shadow Sect was the first to retreat. Purple Mountain. True Monarch left rapidly without saying a word. The goo immortals present were stunned. "Lord, that is the sovereign immortal aperture." Ying Wuxi was anxious. He transmitted to Purple Mountain True Monarch. "Don't worry, I have already deduced that he won't die. He can definitely escape." Purple Mountain. True Monarch said confidently. Ying Wuxi was not very convinced of Purple Mountain True Monarch's words, but he could not express his doubts. But at the next moment, he saw that all of Reverse Flow River started to glow in a bright blue light. Blue light flickered like rumbling clouds or raging currents. The immortals' gazes were all attracted to it. Fang Yuan stood in the middle. Great winds were blowing, causing his hair and sleeves to flutter in the sky. His eyes were eerie. He said softly, "Rise." Instantly, the river water surged and the immortals could hear the sounds of the waves. It resembled the roaring of 1,000 men. The scene was domineering and grand. Immediately after, the blue light condensed, reverse flow river shrank. It became a tiny dot in an instant. The huge reverse flow river vanished. It condensed towards Fang Yuan and turned into a light blue-colored robe. This long robe had wide sleeves. It was white like snow. On the surface of the robe, there was slow-flowing water. It was the same appearance as reverse flow river earlier. Not just that, the surface of the white robe had faint mist surrounding it. There was also a strip of light that was deep azure. It was curvy and wavy, resembling a long sash. It coiled around Fang Yuan's arms, the back of his neck, and around his waist again. Immortal Killer Move. Myriad Self. Second Style, Reverse Flow Protection Seal, had been successfully activated at this moment. He succeeded? Impossible! He actually used Reverse Flow River to create a new Immortal Killer move in this short time. The Immortals saw this and became tongue-tied. Old Ancestor Xuehu was staring fiercely. I refuse to believe this. He thrusted with his palms in Fang Yuan's direction. Immediately, an icy light shot out at incredible speed towards Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was prepared to face it. The icy light landed on his body, but it was fully blocked by Reverse Flow Protection Seal. Reverse Flow Protection Seal flickered as the terrifying icy light was reflected back at its creator, Old Ancestor Xuehu. Success! Fang Yuan's heart was jumping. It gradually calmed down. Even though the Immortal Killer move was activated successfully, he needed to test it. Old Ancestor Xuehu's attack confirmed that Fang Yuan's Reverse Flow Protection Seal was incredibly powerful. Old Ancestor Xuehu dodged the icy light. His expression turned ruthless and harsh as he looked at Fang Yuan. "Let me try," Mao Lichu shouted. Its body vanished on the spot. At the next moment, it appeared behind Fang Yuan. Its ruthless claws were raised and they landed harshly. Boom! A loud sound could be heard. Fang Yuan flew out like a cannonball that was shot out. His field of vision changed. Fang Yuan had landed on the ground a breath of time later. Next, with a loud explosion, a huge crater was formed on the icy ground. Under everyone's watchful gazes, Fang Yuan slowly stood up in the deep crater. He was expressionless, and his body was intact. There was not even a graze on his skin. Reverse Flow Protection Seal had turned into a snow-white robe with an azure sash. There were almost no changes to it, but the mist on the surface of the robe had dissipated to a large extent. If one observed closely, the snow-white robe seemed to be covered in a layer of dust. It was no longer as bright as before. Mao Lichu looked at Fang Yuan before turning to look at its claws. Its right paw was covered in blood. Its flesh was exposed now. Fang Yuan suffered no injuries, while Mao Lichu was quite severely injured. Gasp! Sounds could be heard coming from the Gu Immortals present. What immortal killer move is this? Even Mao Lichu suffered a loss. Seeing this, even Bi Tian's eyes were twitching rapidly. He actually did it. Black Extremity was speechless. His expression was of utter shock. Even an immemorial desolate beast's physical attack was reflected back. Old Ancestor Xuehu frowned deeply. How can this be? Ying Wuxi, who was far away in the sky, saw this and felt like he was dreaming. There had never been a case where a rank 8 Gu Immortal attacked a rank 7 Gu Immortal, and resulted in the rank 7 Gu Immortal being unharmed, while the rank 8 Gu Immortal was actually injured. Rank 8 and rank 7, the former always suppressed the latter. In the last few thousand years, Feng Zhuge was the sole monster who had overwhelming talent. He was unparalleled, and could battle rank 8 existences. But now, after Fang Yuan created Myriad Self-Second Style and successfully used it, Feng Zhuge no longer held this title alone. From now on, this supreme glory was shared with another person, Liu Guanyi. Central's Feng Zhuge, North's Liu Guanyi, Bu Zhenzi muttered in a daze. Old Ancestor Xuehu smiled lightly. Lad, I underestimated you after all. His arms were behind his back. He stopped attacking. But Mao Lichu was furious. Little lad, you are courting death. You dared to make me lose face. The immemorial desolate beast attacked Fang Yuan furiously. Fang Yuan was not its match. He was slammed away like a rubber ball. But after dozens of blows, Fang Yuan was unharmed. He still had a pristine air, but Mao Li Chu was panting roughly, bleeding profusely. Every one of its attacks was reflected back at itself. Mao Li Chu was staring furiously, thinking, "This lad is a porcupine. I'm hurting myself. Since when did Northern Plains have such a monster?" Fang Yuan saw that Mao Li Chu was at a loss against him, and laughed, charging at the Central Continent Gu Immortals. Central Continent's Gu Immortals were like frightened birds. They dispersed at once. The two Central Continent rank 8s stayed and attacked Fang Yuan. But it was no use. Reverse flow protection seal was reflecting their attacks back at them. They landed on Mao Li Chu, who was chasing after him. Mao Li Chu was suffering greatly, so angry it was about to blow up. It spat out a vast amount of purple light. Its attack engulfed an enormous surrounding range. This attack caused a huge battle. The situation became chaotic. The Gu Immortals of all three sides were attacking. This was the last thing Ying Wuxi saw. He was in deep admiration towards Purple Mountain True Monarch's decision of retreating. At the same time, he understood. After this battle, Liu Guanyi's name would spread throughout the 5 regions. It would shock the world. His reputation would rival Feng Jiuge. More than 10 days later, a figure in a sorry state passed the regional wall, arriving at Eastern Sea. It was Fang Yuan. "I finally got free from that crazy animal." Fang Yuan sighed deeply. More than 10 days ago, old ancestor Hu, Central Continent's Gu Immortals, and Longevity Heaven engaged in fierce combat. They fought with all they had. Fang Yuan managed to escape from this chaotic battle, but Mao Li Chu refused to stop chasing him. Fang Yuan was not Mao Li Chu's match, but after he entered Northern Plains regional wall, Mao Li Chu could only watch helplessly. It was a wild beast born in Northern Plains. It was restricted by the regional wall. Fang Yuan managed to escape from these pursuers. Time to go back to southern border. Fang Yuan did not stay. He flew into the clouds.